Hello and welcome to this new little Herpa Wings update video. Recently Herpa had a little YouTube video where they were showing some of the new products they're working on that they want to release throughout the course of the year. And we already did take a look at that. For example, the new mold of the Embraer ERJ 195E2. But since then, a few more images have circulated on the internet, specifically in some Facebook groups. And I started digging a bit to figure out where they were coming from. Now, they did appear to come from Herpa Wings, and indeed they are coming from Herpa Wings, more specifically from their Wings World magazine, which is the magazine for Wings Club members. But there were actually some really interesting things showing up there. For example, we can expect two new Herpa Wings Club models that they're currently working on, which will be two 737-200s of the well-known airline Casino Express. Yeah. I have been talking with a few collectors, and I think we are all agreeing that no one did really see that one coming. And I think most of us have been just asking the question, why? It really does not appear to be a very logical choice. It doesn't really seem to be something that, of course, there will always be some collectors that are very collecting very narrowly, and they will say, oh, this fits perfectly. But I think, producing one, okay, maybe two seems a bit excessive. There is, however, a silver lining, because I was digging a little bit into the airline to see what is this airline actually. I have heard about the name before, but I've never really talked much about or really spent much time on it. However, as it seems, Casino Express does appear to be a predecessor to a new American airline, which is called Avelo, which is like a new super low coster. If this new airline Avelo still holds the rights to Casino Express, this could mean that we in future could get perhaps a Avelo model. If they do not possess the licenses, then I would say it is just a waste of time for collectors, at least for the vast majority. But perhaps this could be an indication that we in the future could get an Avelo aircraft model. But I think the most likely thing is this will be a one-off from Herpa Wings, and a model that we will see in shops for many years to come, because no one will buy it. Another thing that was circulating were some images of the infamous Embraer models in the LOT livery. These models were supposed to be delivered back in 2017 and of course just never appeared. And last year, in Herpa's infamous wisdom, were cancelled with the little notice that, don't worry, we will make the models again and you can then buy them, of course, for an increased price. Great customer care, Herpa. But there is a little section about this in the latest Wings World, and let me just read straight from it so you get to hear what Herpa has to say about this. LOT models are newly announced. The Embraer ERJ 170 and 195 models to finally be produced. At least that. Many collectors have been waiting expectantly for the Embraer ERJ 170 and Embraer ERJ 195 models of LOT, announced in September-October 2017, to come on sale. Staff changes at the Polish airline and also the coronavirus pandemic led to significant delays in the contractual arrangements for model production approval. Now, however, the contracts have been signed and the production of the models can start. According to our new announcement procedure, we will re-announce the two models in the new release brochure as soon as they become available. I think there are two interesting parts here really about the delay. They say yes, staff changes at the airline, and then coronavirus really are the main reasons for the delay. Sure, you can see it like this. I would say I have a fairly different view on this. I don't think coronavirus has much to do with this delay, because obviously the delay happened way before coronavirus became a thing, but that's Herpa for you. But I guess the good news is the models will be coming, and I think there's a good chance that they will be coming this year. The summer might be a bit early if they're only now starting production, but let's see what Herpa manages to do with these models. Then we had another image popping up of the newly announced Toulouse Beluga Cargo Center. We didn't really see much in the video they had released previously. We only really got to see the model on a tiny little table, so we couldn't really see much there. And then they had an image in the background where we basically saw half of the model. But in the Wings World magazine there is another image where we get a top-down view. So we can see that we have basically 2 loading bays on each end of the building. And we get to see a little bit of the plate that this all will be placed on, where we actually can see there won't be just 2 parking positions for aircraft, but there is actually a third one in between these 2 loading bays. So I would still maintain to say this looks like a really nice product from Herpa Wings. And I'm sure this will be something that will be quite popular with quite a few collectors. Then something rather surprising given Herpa's reluctance to make even tiny changes to aircraft molds, but they have actually shown 3 new molds for the Boeing E3 Centenary. If you don't know what that is, it's probably the most famous AWACS aircraft. It's based on the 707 and has this really rather large radome on top. And obviously there are various variants of this aircraft type, and now they have actually produced 3 new molds for this, so they can make the E3F, the E3D and the E3A. So what I struggle to understand is that Herpa has always told us that they can't make these small variants to aircraft models. Like, for example, they refused to make the Embraer ERJ 175 with these updated winglets that you see on KLM aircraft models. Or they, for example, told us that they would only make 1 Embraer ERJ E2 variant, perhaps 2, but not all of them, because that would be way too much. And then in the same time, they suddenly come with 3 variants of the E3. It's great for any military collector, but it is strange that they always seem to say, oh, it's impossible, and then suddenly they do it for a niche product. On the other hand, if they start doing it here, it might mean that they at some point will wake up and actually start doing it for the aircraft models that the vast majority of collectors actually want to see. Not that the E3s aren't great models and that there are many collectors that would like to have them, but this is definitely not the mass product, the mass production product that every collector has to have in their collection. But perhaps this is a first little step for Herpa to change their ways. So that's all we got for now, except that Herpa in their latest newsletter announced that there will be a Facebook Live on February the 10th in the afternoon. They didn't say anything about what they want to talk about there, other than it is specific for Herpa Wings. I think the day before is for cars and trucks. I will of course be watching, and I will of course make a summary reaction video on whatever they want to say there, because we just don't know. But do stay tuned for that, because of course, hopefully we will get more interesting news from Herpa Wings there. So with that, we have really reached the end of today's video. I hope, of course, you like this kind of content. If so, then do feel free to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.